Welcome in, everybody. Fifth quarter extra. Simone Eli, Gerhard Mathangani joining you this evening to recap week 4 of the high school football season. What up, G?
What's going on? A busy week here. And, a whole lot of fun, though. A whole lot of fun as we dived. It was kind of a different week because there were a lot of teams playing region games. I would say most playing region games, but there were a lot of teams that were out of the region as well. So it really creates some really fun, entertaining matchups.
Yes, no question about it. And as we often know in this sport, all the games matter. It's not like you always want to start as strong as you can, especially in region play, not only non-region but in region play as well, because you get the back half of the season and all the coaching staff sitting there and they're doing the mental math of different tiebreakers and things like that. But we have a lot of big games, guys, to get to today. Our game of the week was over at UMS Wright, the Bulldogs, in a huge 5A Region 1 battle. UMS and Viger. And Viger right now, the number 1 ranked team in the state. Of course, the Wolfpack a year ago went to the semifinals, Gerhard, and now they have a new coach in a familiar face in Renardo Jackson, and he was leading them up against a new face over there at UMS Wright.
Yeah, it's kind of the storyline going into this one is the different coaches that were on both sidelines here in this matchup. UMS Wright and Viger, 2 proud programs. I was trying to count the state championships, and I think it was 13 that was between those two. Good to see Coach Terry Curtis in the house there. You don't really see him smiling a lot on Fridays, but now that he's not coaching, he doesn't have all the stress of Friday nights.
Good point.
He's now smiling as watches his former defense come up with a huge play here. It's David Lott jumping on the football, and some of the turnovers were really the early story in this one, and both teams capitalizing off both turnovers. That turnover capitalized by Kingston Fawn, who hits the field goal. That's the first points of the game. And then a big turnover here for UMS Wright. And this is Kelson Agee comes up with one of the best plays of the night. Just rips that ball out of the air as Richard Scott fumbles it. And then Viger turns that into points as well. This is Garrett Holcomb, who fumbled on the earlier drive. This time he gets the touchdown, so a little bit of redemption there as Viger goes on the board early on, an early 6-3 lead for Coach Renardo Jackson and company. And then a little bit later on, this is the more big plays here from UMS Wright. I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen UMS Wright play, and you have seen them play for
that
any
play
time
you showed
in
me
the
today
last
was hilarious.
26 years. If you've seen them play any time in the last 26 years, and you watch the 2025 version, you will be shocked.
Yes.
Because they snapped the football. And Coach Jackson told us this as we were crowning Dylan Jackson as our player of the week this past week. He said they'll snap it anywhere between 7 and 10 seconds. Well, I didn't really think how fast that actually was. It was really fast.
That's hilarious.
They just got off to a really good start there for the team. But Kingston Fawn with all 9 points for his squad early on, and they took an early lead. UMS Wright did at halftime, but it was all Viger in the second half. They pull away 39-20, I think the final score was there. I'll pull up that final score. We have 39-26 as Viger stays undefeated as the number 1 team in the state.
Yeah, and we have a sound from Renardo Jackson. G, are you sending that over here? We'll have that up in just a minute.
So make sure it's in this format for what we're doing right now.
Yes, so we will have the sound from Renardo Jackson in just a moment. That game ended a little bit late, so we got that one on fifth quarter a little later than we wanted to typically, but nonetheless, a very happy but also classy, as he always
Absolutely.
is.
He always is.
Yes,
yeah.
Renardo Jackson for sure. A big game, guys, over at the Hill and Spanish Fort. As we know, this one has become a blockbuster matchup between Spanish Fort and Saraland. Aiden Schamberger and Jamison Roberts, the young guy, but the new guy under center for Jeff Kelly and company. And this game was lopsided, way more so than I expected it to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were the same way.
Yeah, PJ Brown, he has done it all. He's been on fifth quarter extra about every single show so far. PJ Brown on the run here all the way. Nobody's going to stop him. 87 yards on the touchdown run there. It was 6-0 at that point. Saraland missed the PAT, but no problem because the offense is back on the field. Jamison Roberts drops back, sends an absolute long ball to his guy, Deshaun Spencer, the Duke commit on the reception there. It's 12-0. The Spartans missed another PAT. Toros still don't have any offensive answer there, so Saraland's back on offense, back on the field. Roberts into the end zone by himself this time, makes it 20-0 after the 2-point conversion. Jeff Kelly says, forget it, we're not kicking a PAT this time. And then in the second quarter, the Toro is going to get on the board. Aiden Schamberger to hand off there to Juju Bonner. Gets the edge, stiff arms a guy into the end zone that he goes. But this score is shocking. 54-7 was the final. And this play right here, also shocking, G. Let's run this one back a little bit right here. So this was going to be one of our play of the week candidates until we realized that it got brought back.
It did.
So
It did.
take a look at this. For those watching on the CTV app or on Facebook, a live stream, again, appreciate you guys tuning in. This is Gerhard and Simone joining you to recap week 4 of the high school football season here on Fifth Quarter Extra. Take a look at this, okay? So this is a field goal attempt, or was a field goal attempt, right here by Spanish Fort. Though it was poorly executed and didn't really, and the fake wasn't there anyway. So here we are. He's trying. He's trying to get the ball off. He does get the ball off and into the hands of a Saraland guy who's going to cut back. And I'm telling you right now, if I was one and this got called back, he goes all the way. He gets called back. I don't know where the block in the back is, but I'm told somebody watched it better not have been that one right there. Was that the block in the back? Look right there, because that would have been some crap. Hold on. Watch this right here. Right here. Dude, if that was it, that was totally shoulder pad. And I don't know. That might not be it. But I'm just telling you, though, if that is it right there, if that's it right there, that right there.
If anything, he launches him towards him.
I know. But again, we don't see the whole play here, so it could have been somewhere else. But anyways, this gets called back. But I'd be having words if whoever it is. Oh, dude. Okay, look, you can see that. Wait, okay, no, that's a throw sideline. The coach throws his head. Anyways, regardless, guys, Saraland gets the big win. They're proving why there's not a whole lot of drop off right now with this Saraland squad. They scored right after, I think, just a couple plays after that, and they get the win, 54-7. G. That's a pretty strong score there for the Spartans.
Making a huge statement there, Jeff Kelly and company. They just look right now like the number 3 team in the state. They just look like they're finding that piece again that got him over the hump. For everybody that thinks, oh, no Ryan Williams. He's now starring at Alabama.
Lacey.
No KJ Lacey. He's off at Texas. That's the last 3 Mr. Football winners. What are they going to do?
They did have 3 in a row.
Yeah, I think it's the only school in program history to even have that. But they looks like they're just reloading. And whether it's Deshaun Spencer, whether it's Jamison Roberts, we saw glimpses of Jamison last year. Did not quite see this, but Jeff Kelly did. He knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah, we saw him in glimpses when he came in, when KJ was injured and things. I think that St. Paul's game was a game he came in. That was a huge reaching game, of course.
Yeah.
And Jamison was available and, ended up getting the dub there. So definitely a big one. All right, guys, let's keep it rolling. A top 10 battle we had up at T.R. Miller, G. These two, Flomaton and T.R. Miller. Run us through these.
Yeah, this is one of those really, really interesting games because Flomaton, if you hadn't really kept up a lot with them this year, they are quietly undefeated. They jumped into the top 10 polls this past week at number 9. And here facing a really good T.R. Miller squad led by Ronnie Cottrell, who knows a thing or two about coaching football.
Just a thing or two.
And a couple state championships to his name. And big play there from T.R. Miller's defense. I want to give him credit. That was Jalen Griffey on a tackle. That led to a big run there by T.R. Miller quarterback in Mr. Hansen. And Tyler Hansen gets the big run, and then he hands it off to Kevin Henderson on the very next play for the touchdown run. This time, Hansen goes right across the middle. This is a beautiful pass there to Cameron Clifton. And it looks a lot like what Coach Ronnie Cottrell and company did when he was at Mobile Christian. Just fundamental, solid football. And they beat a really good Flomaton team that go over to Brewton. 27-10 the final score. So if you're looking for another big statement win for the Tigers, there it is. They spent a lot of last year in the top 5, sometimes in the top 3, and I know they want to get back over that hump, one of the state's winningest programs, and they get another big W on Friday night as T.R. Miller goes on to win that game by 17 points. There is another shot of that big hit there on defense. Griffey, you normally associate Griffey with baseball, King Griffey Jr., but that Griffey putting in work here, and I know the Tigers have to be happy with that performance tonight.
No doubt about that. A big one for sure. They will stay in the rankings. I mean, actually, Flomaton might stay in the rankings too. You lose the 4th-ranked team in the state.
No question, yeah.
Good chance that you do there. We'll find out. But a big battle, no question. Gee, we do have the Renardo Jackson sound. If you want to run us back through just a brief synopsis of what it was that happened in our game of the week there at UMS.
Yeah, really festive atmosphere out here, and turnovers were the key story. The defenses were really big. I know both these teams are talking about offenses going in. Renardo Jackson and company, they scored 50 points last week, and then all the new offensive wrinkles that Coach Sam Williams are putting in. But it was the defenses really that played with a lot of intensity early on in this one. And it was really turnovers that were the key story. Field goals for UMS Wright, a big touchdown for Viger. However, UMS Wright led it 9-6 at the half, but it was all Viger in the second half. They go on to win it 39-26 today, so they stay undefeated on the season. I mean, like you said, we got a chance to hear from the head coach of the Wolves.
Yes, we did.
Excited to be able to get out of here with a win. Playoff atmosphere, tough ball game. We knew that their tempo would cause some issues, and I'm just glad we weathered the storm and found a way to win. I think that, of course, Sammy Dunn, man, be able to drive us down the field a few times when we were down. He played well. We had some defensive players that made some key stops. And so it was a great collective team effort. Thank God for the opportunity to lead this program. Thank Coach for great sportsmanship, great atmosphere, man. He's a great guy, doing a great job, man, and I just enjoyed the ball game.
Nice win there for Viger, and you heard Coach Jackson right after that. He gave a lot of credit to Sam Williams, and I was on the field when those two were talking. Because it was the game of the week. It was the Senior Bowl game of the week, so we were out there pregame at about 6 o'clock. I got out there probably about 5:35, 5:40, somewhere in there. I got there about the same time that Sam Williams was taking the field for the first time, and then I saw a really cool moment between Sam Williams and Renardo Jackson. They kind of talked at midfield for a little bit, and I got the feeling that they were meeting each other basically for the first time.
Oh, really? I love that. Yeah, that's cool.
They might have seen each other, maybe coaches meetings or 7-on-7s or whatever, but it just felt like they were sharing a lot of pleasantries and
cool.
Getting to know one another. So obviously I just stepped out of the way and kind of watched their back and forth, because I know Coach Jackson, he told you and I when we were crowning
I was going to bring that up. That was awesome.
We were crowning our Zaxby's Player of the Week, and he said it's really different this week. Playing playing this UMS Wright team.
Yep.
The main reason why is because we used to have this entire booklet on UMS, right? We would know their second down tendencies or third down tendencies, what they would do on fourth down.
You couldn't always beat TC, but you knew what he was doing.
You knew exactly.
He might still get you though. Yep.
And all that stuff, not necessarily they were throwing away, but they just had to put it aside, because now you have to go pick up.
Oh, they're throwing it away. They're absolutely throwing it away. There was. I mean, even the personnel doesn't matter at that point. The schemes changed so much that the personnel doesn't even look the same. It looks like a whole different program to begin with. It's
absolutely,
insane.
It actually is. It's really fun. It was fun to talk to Coach Jackson, because Coach Jackson has been so ingrained in Mobile County, whether it was a head coach at LaFleur, assistant coach at Viger.
Such a good dude. He's so well respected too, and he should be. A lot of people have tried to get him on their staff when he was making his transition from LaFleur, and then ended up back at a school that has a really, really close place in his heart. Gerhard, a lot of teams are in region play, and then we have some teams that are playing out of region. And this is, as we know, it's the second year of the reclass. So it's the second year of typically what is the home and home that everyone signs in non-region plays, non-region games. This one, though, I'm going to try to talk to Coach Scott and Coach Flournoy and tell them that Baker and Jackson should play every single year, because they really need to. I mean, honestly, this is quite the atmosphere, of course, as we often get out there at Jackson. The guys, the number one team, and this is a big reason why E.J. Crowell, the Alabama commit, does it all, and he does it all right here. This is one of our 22nd State Bank Play of the Week options, and man, for good reason. Look at this. Look at E.J. Crowell shaking dudes off. All the way to the house he goes for the touchdown. This is the second play from scrimmage for Jackson offensively. They had already the defense had gotten off field 3 and out there because Baker started with the ball. But Baker's going to get a couple back here. This is Speedy Wheeler, once again making his weekly appearance on the 5th quarter extra, as he often does. And he gets in to make it 7-0. But back to 13. Look at this vision, man. I mean, I'm telling you right now, he would start for Alabama right now. He would start for Alabama right now. I mean, he really would. I'm going to go run this play back. Just watch. I don't even know if Bama has a guy that does this right now. I don't know if, I mean, they can run a ball the way this guy runs the ball. Yes.
But also watch the offensive line. Give the hat tip to the
offensive line. You're right. You're right.
They create a hole.
Look at these big boys up front. But
they create a hole. But as you mentioned, the
vision is crazy. So E.J. Crowell into the end zone makes it 14-7 at that point. And then let's not forget that they can throw the ball too, because here's a South Carolina commit, Landon Duckworth connecting with Juice Gordon, who cannot help himself. And honestly, if I had caught that ball like that, which I definitely wouldn't have, but I would have done the same thing. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spike this right in front of you, guy. And the zebra says, nope, can't do that, son. Can't do that, son.
On the show tonight, I just got this vivid memory of Coach Bob Newton, a Hall of Famer. I know he's so proud right now, but he would always say this: "You want to spike the ball? Well, wait till you're playing on Sundays. Wait till you're playing in the NFL. That's the only place you can go spike the ball. Just keep playing right now." And so, Juice Gordon he's obviously really excited at the moment. And that is one thing.
By the way, Jackson won this game 28-14.
28-14. It's actually a big win, because obviously they lost their opener. They played 2 really tough non-region games to start the season. Saraland and now Baker. And I expect Baker to be one of the top 10 teams before the year is done in Class 7A. And obviously we saw what Saraland Saraland's doing so far. But no, going back to Saraland, to Jackson, this team has just been unbelievable.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, Juice Gordon is another commit. We talked about EJ going to Bama. We talked about Landon Duckworth going to South Carolina. Juice Gordon is one of a handful of guys going to North Carolina.
Yep.
And so it's him, it's Red Chapman, and his brother Keon.
Talent all over the field.
Yeah.
It's good to be Cody Flournoy. I love to say that. It's one of my favorite things to say. So guys, listen, we're going to run through some scores really quick that we have from local scores. In Class 7A, we're still waiting to get some teams come in, but we do know that MGM got a big victory over Robertsdale in Class 7A. You have that score? Okay, yeah. Do you have the list up?
I do not have the list. I just have I committed that one to memory from the show.
Yeah.
And
in Class 6A, Theodore beats Baldwin County 41-14 in that game. Satsuma falls to St. Michael. And let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
So I get a text. I get a text from Simon Quarterpassy, okay, who is the defensive coordinator there for the Cardinals. Good guy.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a third play of the week option, ironically, and it was like right before we went on the air. It was like 5 of 10 o'clock, and Gerhard and I are just like balls to the walls trying to like get out to the set, get everything up, whatever. And I get this text. It's like, how about this for one of the plays of the week? So I watch it, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. So let me set this one up for you. We have it here. This is one of our play of the week options, although I do feel bad for the situation. This is not it. Stand by, friends.
We will get it.
We're going to pull it up. But this play, we know how good St. Michael is already.
Right.
But this right here kind of defines. This is pretty impressive here. This is impressive meaning like extra. But we ran it anyway, so stand by.
What always throws me is the backyard nature of this. This reminds me of football and Thanksgiving on your front lawn, and you're out there just
the play didn't come. The play didn't come through. Look at me teasing this video.
The play didn't come through.
All right, Gerhard's gonna. That's on me. That's on me. You're gonna have to bring this one up for us.
I'll get you in.
This is what happens when you don't have Patrick Walsh here running the production set for us.
I will go to our system, and I'll put that one in for us as we go.
Yeah, we'll keep rolling, but Gerhard's gonna work on that one for a minute. Let's see what we got here, guys. Listen, we're gonna keep rolling and stand by. Over in Citronelle, let's see. Can we pull up some Citronelle and Williamson, the third-ranked Lions, as Gerhard continues to work on that one for me, bro. Appreciate you on that. So if you can throw that one in there, it would be amazing. All right, let's go to Citronelle, guys, in Class 5A Region 1. Third-ranked Williamson showing off pretty quickly why they are the third-ranked team in the state, by the way. So as we know, this is a team that last year was in a region with a really other talented team in Class 5A, of course, the Viger Wolves. These two teams were 1 and 2 in the state in 5A in defense, but it seems like the offense, which was good last year for Williamson as well, is picking right up once again. So you see it here. Williamson offensively. Alvin Dinkins to a wide open Keith Donald 17-yard touchdown strike to get the scoring going there. A little bit later, great play design here from the Williamson staff. We'll see this one in just a moment. It's going to be Dinkins going to find John Austin, who reaches just across the goal line for the touchdown there. And then later, they're going to keep it on the ground. Todrick Withers going to score a touchdown. And, man, I'm telling you, watch out for Williamson, G, because they win at 57-5. It's a boatload of points there in Citronelle as they get the 5A Region 1 victory.
They have been absolutely dominant right now over the course of the first few weeks of the season. Obviously opened up the year with that big win over, I believe it was Wayne County out of Mississippi. And the pollsters, they know that Coach Antonio Coleman's got a loaded team coming back this year. I know that they lost a lot of talent. The guys like TJ Overton went to Arkansas.
Yep.
And they had a big offensive lineman sign with Colorado. But Williamson is just reloading. Going into this game, by the way, that just to let you know, just some background stuff here. That play should be in. It's play number 3. It's the same play that was called on our program tonight.
Okay, good.
But yeah, they beat Wayne County 42-0. Then they beat Alberta 64-9. Then they knocked off Citronelle tonight 57-5. So the mathematicians out there probably already beat me to it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the math on this one. 64 plus 57 tonight. That's 163 points through 3 games, and they've given up 14.
Bro.
They've given up 14, 163-14 over the course of the first 3 games of the season.
I'm telling you, that's once again just absolutely rolling. We're working on this play still. It's this is gonna be like the death of me in this show tonight, trying to get Thank you, Simon Quarterpassy, for being the guy who's trying to get me to get this play out here. Oh, I see it now. We have it. All right, let's just go to this thing. Let's just go to this thing.
Let's do it.
I'm tired of it. Tired of talking about it. We just got to show it to you. It's one of those you got to see it to believe it. Because quite frankly, this thing is pretty extra. All right, let's see this. Here we go. Play number 3 of the week. Boom. Give it to me. All right, G, walk us through this one.
All right, so we have a big interception here from the
Timeout.
defense.
It's 42-0 with 3 seconds to go in the second quarter, and I'm told that to this point, I think that St. Michael has only snapped the ball a handful, like 13 times.
13 times,
yeah.
and they've scored what?
It's 42
6 touchdowns?
It's 42-0.
7 touchdowns.
Yeah. Okay.
Six touchdowns.
Let's resume.
So 6 touchdowns.
And this is not dogging on Satsuma. We're not. There's no dogging on anything.
This
is just kind of one of those plays that you're like, okay, there's no way this actually happened. Here we go.
This is dominating. But yes, interception here in the end zone, and they bring it out. And coaches, they love this. You get that bingo call, and then next thing you know, you're coming out of the end zone, and you're just trying to make things happen here. And kudos to St. Michael for understanding the situation. The ball was going to be dead, and the play would be over had they not been able to put it in. But they knew, hey, this is the last time the ball will be alive. So they just kept it alive. Lateral after lateral after lateral. I think 5.
It would be more impressive if it wasn't 42-0.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, there was great awareness here, but I don't know who's on the field, but I have to assume that it's like the 4th string. I mean, or maybe not.
Who knows?
Or maybe
Who knows?
Not. I don't know.
You want your guys to play. What do they say? You play all 48. Play all 48. Play all 48 minutes.
They played a couple extra after this one because there's hit triple zeros when they caught the ball, and they just kept it going. So they actually played about 48 and 30 seconds after this one.
You know, Simone, there might be some crossover players that play offense and defense, but I would think some members of the guys that just play defense solely, they're like, you know what? Our offense gets a whole lot of love. It's our time to shine now.
It's our time to shine.
We love you, Gunner.
You know what?
We love you, Gunner Rivers.
Exactly.
We love you, Noah Moss. We love you, Brady.
It's our time to get in the end zone.
We love you, Tucker. It's our time to score here.
Yeah.
Let's put some points up on the board.
And
that
is exactly what they did.
St. Michael, the number 2 team in the state. St. Michael and Jackson. You've seen highlights of both. Those two are the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state.
Yeah.
They were last year. I know that number 2 ended up going to the runner-up in Cherokee County, but I'm telling you, St. Michael's better than Cherokee County. Those are the top 2 teams in the state. I used to cover ball up there, so if you're watching from up north, this is no disrespect. The St. Michael team is better than Cherokee County.
Yeah, and we kind of figured that out even last year when Jackson put a whooping on them there in Birmingham.
That's
right.
And this is number 1 and number 2 in the state here that you've seen already highlights of it in the 5th quarter. But huge play there for the defense, and big shout out there to Simon saying, "Hey, look, give our defense some love here."
Who am I to say no? You know what? Whatever, man. I appreciate the effort to get it on and awareness of when the show was going on.
Exactly. Head over to WKRG.com right now if you like that play or the play from EJ Crowell or that play from Deshaun Spencer. Those are 3 plays that are 22nd State Bank Play of the Week nominees.
Yes.
And that we will announce the winner coming up on Monday. It's 100% up to you, my friends.
Yes, it certainly is. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's go to the beach. 6A, big matchup between these 2 teams that are often in the mix there, G, when it comes to playoff time.
Yeah, Gulf Shores, just a couple of years removed from a 5A state championship, moved up to Class 6A. This was all defense in this one, Simone. This is a really good play here. And our good friend Jason Garcia, I love him to death, but he put these plays in a reverse order. And so he put the second quarter play first, then he put the 2 first quarter plays. I went and rearranged them. So
why did he do that?
I'm really not sure, but he put sorry.
Jason.
He put sorry in parentheses, and I'm like, and so I don't know if he already exported it. I'm not really sure.
He was like, sorry, I didn't move it back.
But the 2 plays you're seeing right here, these are first quarter plays. The play you saw at the beginning, that's the second quarter play. So this play right here, Ladarian Miller with a big hit, but not to be outdone. Gulf Shores on defense, and they come up with a big play as well. This is a nice little sack here. And this game was all defense in this one, Simone. They didn't get a touchdown until about midway through the second quarter. And Gulf Shores ends up winning this one. The final score was 10-6. Wow. Kind of playing like a high-scoring baseball game over there down at the beach. But shout out to both Coach David Faulkner and Coach Mark Hudspeth who have their teams right now in a really, really tough classification. And if we're just speaking honestly about the way this region is lined up, it looks like Saraland might lock up that 1 seed. I know there's a lot of football to be played, but they look like they're going to be that number 1 squad. And it looks like there's going to be such a tight race there for the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6. I feel like 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, that battle between 2 and 6 will be a game or 2.
Yep.
And
it often is.
And probably a possession or 2 when you really break it down. And so a huge win there on the road. there for McGill.
Yeah, I want to go to our Facebook comments really quick. Heather Madden-Williams with the comment here. We appreciate that. As Orange Beach falls, W.S. Neal picks up a huge win, 44-15. As they just really, really put it on the Makos. Rodney Williamson on here giving me some grief because I've got my Celsius trying to, make sure that I can stay awake here. Rodney's always tuning in.
Rodney, hey, listen, these are long days. These are long days. And every now and again, you need
Put some respect
a little
on
juice.
it, Rodney.
Need a little juice.
Lord
if
Almighty.
anything, just tell Celsius, hey, you know what? Kick your team back
Listen,
here with some
man.
sponsorship.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. Cameron Heathcock, appreciate it. Appreciate the comment in Class 1A. Leroy beats Sweetwater 40-13. We have more highlights to come, but let's take a look at some of the scores. I have the scoreboard here from our girl Gracie. Like I mentioned in our game of the week, Viger beats UMS Wright 39-26. BC Rain beats Alberta 42-11. We'll have those highlights in just a minute as well. Fairhope beats Davidson 35-14. Daphne beats Foley 38-7. TR Miller beats Flomaton 27-10. Gulf Shores beats McGill in a baseball game 10-6. Jackson beats Baker 28-14. Saraland demolishes Spanish 4 in that big 6A Region 1 battle 54-7. Theodore stays undefeated, G. How about the Bobcats? They better be in the top. They beat Baldwin County 41-14, but they're looking really good.
They really are, and obviously they lost that opener to Baker, but you're right, they're undefeated in region play.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what really matters.
Yep.
And JJ Bush, we crowned him Zaxby's Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago. Steve Mask said going into this year he really likes this group, and so far through region games, remember last year how it worked out in the region. They started slow, they missed the playoffs. They're starting really fast this year.
Yep, no doubt about that. Pick things up. Alma Bryant.
Nice.
Bryant gets the big dub, 44-31 over Springville at home. Go Canes. MGM gets the victory over Robertsdale, 37-0. Mobile Christian gets a win, 23-12 over Escambia County. Bayside beats Monroe County, 60-0. St. Paul's 50-6 over Murphy. St. Michael 56-0 over Satsuma. W.S. Neal, like we mentioned a minute ago, 44-15 over OBA. Central Hayneville beats St. Luke's 54-0. LaFleur beats Faith by 1, 28-27. If you have any details on that one, give it. Let us know how that one played out, guys.
Yeah.
We were short-staffed this tonight, so we didn't get to every local game, unfortunately. So trying to give you all the local scores that we can. Hillcrest Evergreen get their get back game 41-7 over XL. JF Shields beats Fruitdale 43-22. Thomasville shuts out Sumter Central, Lord Almighty, 50-0. Leroy shuts out
Sweetwater. Yeah.
No, I thought we just had a score there. That score's not right. 40-13 was the final in that one.
40-13. Okay.
Yep. Clark County beats Bayshore Christian 38-7.
Yeah, big ones there. And how about Leroy, the number 2 team in the state right now in Class 1A? And I think that's a program on the rise. And Sweetwater, they might be down this year, but that is a program full of history.
Yep.
A lot of state championships between those two squads. So Leroy looks really solid here after that big win tonight.
Let's keep it rolling, guys. Over to BC Rain, if we will, G, for this one in 5A Region 1.
Yeah, our good buddy Josh. He went to this one. He actually went to BC Rain, and one of the things he said in his highlights when he sent it back to us, he said doing his best Jalen Hurst impression. I know he's a big Alabama fan, and so watching the tush push there as BC Rain gets on the scoreboard, and it was so great to see Coach Yelding. That's one of the final things that Josh and I talked about. If Coach Yelding was out there, please get a shot of him. So he was out there on the golf cart.
Hope he's doing all right, man.
Absolutely.
And so well loved, and a guy who we've really missed. I hope that health-wise he's doing all right. I'm going to check on him, and I love to be able to see him there at the game. We'll go back to seeing Coach there in the golf cart, being able to check out his guys. And that's one thing about coaches, man, is that they often just want to be around the game. You know, that's the one thing that just keeps them young and keeps them, just excited and loving life. And so certainly our thoughts and prayers are with Coach Yelding because, man, he's so well loved in this community. There's no question about that.
Yeah, such a good coach, and he's really coached a good team, and he's brought this young group of players up, and he's really happy. Malachi Adams scores on the very first touchdown, and this is Jamarni Elston Jamari Rogers, I should say, gets into the end zone for that touchdown. So BC Rain taking a 14-3 lead, and there's your guy, the BC Rain sign man. He said, just look up in the stands anytime you go to a BC Rain game. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be waving a sign, and he was right. And then the Alberta offense gets on the scoreboard here as well. A shout out those players. That is quarterback Samuel Harrison not hitting Brandon Nolan for the touchdown. So Alberta does get on the scoreboard, but it was all BC Rain in this one. 42-11. They get a little get back. They lost to UMS Wright last week in a region game, and so get some get back here. Got a chance to go see Coach Yelding again. So all in all, for the BC Rain Company down there on Dauphin Island Parkway, it's a really, really good night.
Yep, no question. I do want to make a correction from the scoreboard. I just told Gracie we got to update this one. St. Luke's beat Central Haynesville 54-0. Not the other way around. So we got to get that one corrected. So St. Luke's, the Wildcats, get a big win there. A good one for sure.
Yeah, Coach. Congratulations to Coach Joe Gilmore and company being able to get a big win there and know that there's a team that made the playoffs last season. They want to get back into the playoffs once again. So nice win there for St. Luke's.
And over in Class 7A, we had over at Davidson, it was community night, a record crowd. We're going to get that one in just a minute, guys. Davidson was hosting Fairhope this afternoon or this evening. Davidson looking to try to pick up a couple wins early, but Fairhope, I feel like if you watch this Fairhope team, that this is a team that is going to be on the comeback a little bit, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in
Here
my
we go,
opinion,
record crowd over at Davidson.
Oh, big crowd. Yeah, big crowd there.
Community
last
night.
Yeah, community night. And they love their football over there at Davidson. They've put a lot of players in college football and the NFL over the years.
Shout out to Tim Finnegan, who got us this video. Great media guy that works there for the Warriors and Warrior defense. Watch this kid flip this ball. Watch 13 right here. Right here. Watch this. He's like, take that. Y'all just take your ball back. And then, man, on the run here, impressive. The quarterback Micah Spivey, love the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Capitalizing on the turnover. Into the end zone he goes, but it is Fairhope getting the victory 35-14 as the Pirates are looking to kind of make a resurgence after kind of, there's been a little bit of a dip, so to speak. I mean, I think Tim Carter is not going to, kill me for saying that. I said last week on the show that I love him, so and forgot to say that I love my husband, so that was great. I texted that to him just because it was too funny not to. So,
but no, you're right, because they lost the California Dreaming Bowl to Spanish Fort in that rainy night 4 weeks ago, and since then they've rolled off 3 straight wins. Knocked off Faith Academy, knocked off the Hurricanes last week, and then got a big win over Davidson this week. Robertsdale next week, and then they'll step out of region play going to Theodore. So Coach Tim Carter and company have to be really impressed and proud of the way they've handled things since the loss in the season opener.
Yep, no question about that. Over in 6A Region 1, E.E. Delaney Stadium, Gerhard and Mason, our photographer. I'm going to pause this right quick. Mason, our photographer, put in. I love that it paused right here. Mason, our photographers are becoming more and more. They're cynics, okay? They are hilarious. And the thing is that they're not sports photographers.
Right.
They're news photographers, but they cover sports for us every single Friday, and they pick up on these coaching tendencies and these program tendencies themselves. So there's different comments that are put in the scripts that are sent to Gerhard and I, and it's kind of on us to catch them.
We have to filter them out,
honestly, because sometimes there's like stuff that would get us an FCC fine put in there. So I like to edit some of this because I just want to be playful. Thank God we actually have some time to actually look at it. But today, Mason puts in here. This is our guy. Coach Ham Barnett here for St. Paul's. He said, energy filled the stadium at E.E. Delaney. All right. Head coach Ham Barnett looking as excited as ever. So I read it before I actually saw it, and I was like, you know what? That is accurate.
That is hilarious. Anybody that knows
if
Coach
you know
Ham
Ham, man,
very business.
Look at him. Like, if it doesn't matter if you're up 40-0, he's still going to yell at people to get off. Get back. Can't help himself. This will make you smile, though. At least it should make you smile.
Yeah, it will.
When your offense is rolling the way that it is. Here's Hayden Finchner connecting with Jimbo Butler on the nice run there. They would connect again for the touchdown. Then a little bit later, I don't know if you want to be the Murphy quarterback here because Tank Jones says good evening and good night on this next play.
Yeah, this is a big play here.
And listen, honestly, this Murphy quarterback is me because I'd be like, you know what? Same, bro. Same. I mean, he looks to be okay, so we can kind of make light of that.
I think the body language says.
The body language said, I'm just gonna lay here for a second.
The body language says like, you know what? These people are just. I see why he's that good.
I see why he's going to Oregon.
Honestly, and I think a lot of people do. And I won't lie. So there was a time I'm gonna date myself here. We played against Carlos Dansby at Woodlawn forever ago, and he was going to Auburn at the time. He ends up having like a 10, 12-year NFL career. And I tried to tackle him one time towards the end of the game. he runs me over. I'm like, hey, you know what? You tell the difference in the difference in guys that are going D1. And I feel like that same guy. And since then,
Didn't you go D1? Didn't you go D1?
I've been saying it was FCS. It was one double
anymore, not
one
anymore.
double A at the time.
JSU.
Jacksonville State. They've moved on up. Go Gamecocks got a nice win last week.
No doubt.
But I have been telling that story about Carlos Dansby ever since then, because I saw him in the NFL. I was like, you know what? Yeah. Fourth quarter of the game against Woodlawn. We won the game, but he won that play.
I love it.
And I'm pretty sure
we
that kid
won the game, but he won that play. Your honesty cracks me up, dog.
And I'm pretty sure that same kid will be like, hey, you know what? Played against Tank Jones, and yeah, he's that good.
I love it. I love it. What are you gonna do? All right, let's check in with Foley and Daphne. G, do we have run Foley and Daphne yet? I don't think we did. Let's
we had not run Foley and Daphne. No.
All right, let's check in with the Trojans.
Yeah, number 0 is the guy to keep your eye on. His name is C.J. Gardner. Scores 3 times. Gets the old hat trick. Talking a little hockey terms here. Christian Seeger, the quarterback, finds number 0 3 different times in the first half alone. This is a 30-yard pitch and catch between these two players. And going back to our photographers, Hannah O'Gara was just like, hey, this is all Daphne in the first half. It was all C.J. Gardner.
We're going to start letting our photographers just host fifth quarter and just see what it is that they say. It'll be pretty great. It'll be pretty great.
Yeah, they were great. But yes, it was all Daphne in this one. And keep in mind, Daphne last week, they went toe-to-toe with MGM. They were down early. They came back, and teams like that can sometimes lose their focus after they lose a game like that. You're neck and neck with one of the top 10 teams in the state. But this team got refocused here against Foley tonight, ended up putting up 38 points in a 38-7 win. So it was a really, really good day today for Coach Kenny King and company being able to get that win, 38-13. But C.J. Gardner, a big night, 3 touchdowns.
If you're just tuning in, we'll kind of run back some of our really, really big games from the day. Our game of the week, G, you were out there. UMS and Viger, our game of the week. And man, some new faces in terms of the coaching staff. Of course, Ronaldo Jackson. There's Terry Curtis. He's enjoying his Friday nights, not having to actually stress with a headset and coaching, because Sam Williams, now the new head coach there at UMS Wright. Over on the other side, a familiar face, Ronaldo Jackson. But the same toughness of these two teams showcased here in 5A Region 1.
Yes, I mean, that's what you saw. You saw the intensity. Intensity has not dropped off a bit from last year or when Terry Curtis was the head coach with the Bulldogs, especially on defense. And UMS Wright capitalizes early on a big strip. It was David Lott that recovered it. But then Viger comes up with a big defensive play themselves. Obviously, they have the Alabama commit, and chicken is what they call him, Javarius Guerra going to Alabama. They ran away from him a little bit during the game, but the defense able to come up with a big play there. AG comes up with that huge play. And then making up for that turnover, so to speak, Sammy Dunn going right back to his main man. I love when quarterbacks do that. When a guy makes a big play and he fumbles the football, but they go right back to him. That's exactly what happened in that sequence as they score a touchdown. They missed the extra point, so it's now 6-3, but they end up scoring. They, being the Bulldogs, end up scoring a field goal here. And Kingston Fawn, he had all 9 points, 3 big field goals, as UMS Wright took a 9-6 lead there at the half. But teams really regroup in the second half, and Coach Ronaldo Jackson and company, they really did that in the second half, and they were able to pick up that win, 39-26 the final score. So they remain undefeated. But hats off to Sam Williams and company. They have learned a new offense. They've had a new coach. They've just kind of adjusted really well, in my opinion. Lost a tough one in the opener to St. Paul's, their rivals, in overtime when Tank Jones scored the touchdown in overtime and the 2-point conversion. Lost a tough one here to the number 1 team in the state, but they have to be feeling really proud about where they are from a building standpoint so far this season. Yeah,
no question. We're going to take a listen to Ronaldo Jackson after this win just a little while ago.
Excited to be able to get out of here with a win. Playoff atmosphere, tough ball game. We knew that their tempo would cause some issues, and I'm just glad we weathered the storm and found a way to win. I think that, of course, Sammy Dunn, man, be able to drive us down the field a few times when we were down. He played well. We had some defensive players that made some key stops. And so it was a great collective team effort. Thank God for the opportunity to lead this program. Thank Coach for great sportsmanship, great atmosphere, man. He's a great guy, doing a great job, man, and I just enjoyed the ball game.
Good stuff there from Ronaldo Jackson, continuing to keep things status quo for Viger. Meanwhile, in 6A Region 1, we'll do a quick recap of our big game, guys, before we let you go tonight. The big one over on the Hill. There's a couple guys that really love each other. And Jeff Kelly, Chase Smith, Aiden Schamberger, quarterback of the Toros, and Jamison Roberts. Sorry, guys. Jamison Roberts there for Saraland. And, man, Toros can put up some points, but today it was all Saraland and then some early on, man, in the ground game. Just unbelievable effort here all night. But, just by the Spartans, it was impressive.
Yeah, Antonio Brown getting into the end zone here, better known as PJ. Big running back there for Jeff Kelly. He has so many weapons because that is Brown and then Jamison Roberts. And shout out to Jamison Roberts' father. He actually clipped one of our shows a couple of weeks ago.
I love that.
And when we were talking, obviously great about his son because his son stepped in for KJ Lacey a little bit last year, did a great job.
Yep.
This year doing amazing. That time hitting the Duke commit in Deshaun Spencer and then going in himself. So he can tuck it and run it. He can throw it as well. He's got a lot of tools. And obviously the offense is in good hands for the Spartans. And signs of life here for the Toros.
This is their only score from the game.
Yeah.
Juju Bonner in with stiff arm into the end zone, and Saraland gets the big victory, 54-7.
54-7.
Quite the crowd there, regardless of the outcome, no doubt.
Number 3 team in the state.
A top 10 battle we saw at T.R. Miller as T.R. Miller is going to come on the receiving the win end of this one. And Rodney Williamson said the Flemington-Miller game was a lot closer than the score indicated.
I could believe that. The Hurricanes played really tough.
27-10 is pretty close regardless, but yeah, that seems like it was a nail-biter.
Yeah, it was, and you could just tell by these highlights it was a really physical football game. Jalen Griffey with one of those tackles there. And then how about this quarterback? I mean, they've had some good quarterback play over the last few years there at T.R. Miller, and they have another good one in Tyler Henson. He takes it in for the first down and then gives it up the very next play. This is Kevin Henderson getting into the end zone for a touchdown. And then Hanson shows off the arm. How about this dime to Cameron Clifton? Our good friend Ronnie Cottrell and company. He's got to like it. 27-10, but as he said, and as you said, probably a little bit closer than the score indicated. Might have pulled away there at the end, but nonetheless, it's a W for T.R. Miller, one of the most, if not the most, winningest programs in the state of Alabama.
And the last quick one we'll just look at quickly was a non-region battle, but one that I love watching. Two talented teams, especially offensively. Jackson, E.J. Crowell in action for the Aggies, and boy, was he in action on the second snap from scrimmage here for Jackson. Gets away from everybody after getting twirled around and everything, and that was no issue. This guy runs a football. I mean, it is unbelievable. He'll ever see him on Sunday someday.
Yeah,
we really will.
Probably will.
Yeah,
probably will.
Into the end zone, 7-0 early on, and it wouldn't stop there for Jackson. Although Baker got into the end zone a couple times. Speedy Wheeler here in for the score to tie the game, but Jackson is going to go back to their guy E.J. Crowell, and ultimately Jackson comes away with the win, proving why they are the #1 ranked team in Class 4A. They started the season there, and for Jackson, it really is blue map or bust this season. There is no question about that. They're looking for 4 in a row if you're going to go football, basketball, football. So we'll see.
It looks like a collision course between Jackson and St. Michael once again.
Too bad that they can't meet.
I know. It's
dang region.
It really stinks that the two best teams are in the same region there, but they'll have their chance to battle against one another. And Coach Philip Rivers said that's why you want to play. You want to play against the best, and that one of those plays from E.J. Crowell is one of the nominees for our 22nd State Bank Play of the Week. Right after this live stream ends, head over to WKRG.com. And you get to vote for our Play of the Week. 3 great nominees. You'll get to see those highlights as well, and we'll announce that winner on Monday night.
A reminder, Gulf Shores beats McGill 10-6 in a close one there. St. Paul's beats Murphy 50-6 in a not-so-close one there. BC Rain gets the win over Alberta 42-11 in 5A Region 1. Williamson blows out Citronelle 57-5 in 5A as well. Daphne gets a victory over Foley 38-7 in 7A play. So those are just a few of the games. We have all the scores over on WKRG.com, guys. But it's been a really, really fast first month, if you can believe it, of the high school football season. Where did the time go? Man, it has rolled right through, G.
It certainly has. And I really love this time of year because we're starting to get a bit of a clearer picture about what the playoffs look like, except in 4A Region 1. I really can't figure out 4A Region 1. You had W.S. Neal beating
There's a lot going on over there.
Orange Beach over there. You had Mobile Christian with a nice win tonight as well. That's going to be a really fun region to watch. That and 3A Region 1. I think watch out for Bayside Academy. That is a team that looks really, really strong. They got another big win tonight That should be really fun there in Class 3A Region 1 football. So I'm really interested over the next few weeks, but this is a real crystallizing moment about where some of these teams are in region action.
Yep, no doubt about that. All right, guys, we will see you next week here on Fifth Quarter and Fifth Quarter Extra. Enjoy some great college football tomorrow. Yep. Alabama's at home against Wisconsin. I'm headed to the Plains in like 4 hours.
Nice.
So I'm going to try to sleep, but for a big one there. South Alabama is going to be at Auburn. The Tigers, the only team that will play any in-state teams, and so they're welcoming in South Alabama. An historic matchup. Cannot wait to see the Jags on the Plains. Hugh Freeze, Coach Applewhite. It's going to be a good one. Going to be a good one. What are you watching? What are you looking forward to?
I'm honestly looking forward to that one. Just all the hype going into that matchup, and I know that the crew at the SEC Network will do that game a lot of justice because of, like I said, the fact that it's the very first time ever these two teams are on the field. I'll be watching out for that one. Also watching out for Alabama. Can they keep that momentum after the La Monroe game last week?
Tennessee over Georgia?
And then Tennessee and Georgia. I hadn't seen if any money move. I've been locked in on high school football. I haven't seen what the line is. Last I checked, Tennessee is a 3.5-point favorite. It opened at 6.
Tennessee? Georgia.
Sorry, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. So the lines move. So a lot of the public, a lot of either the public or the pros really like Tennessee. I think the momentum is shifting, just like it did with Alabama. Alabama had a 15-game winning streak, and then it automatically changed. I think it might change there in Knoxville over in Rocky Top. Definitely keeping an eye out on that one. And Texas A&M, Notre Dame, a little non-conference action as well. They're two top 25 teams battling out there in South Bend.
All right, guys. It's been a fun Fifth Quarter Extra. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. For Gerhard, Patrick Walsh, everybody here at WKRG News 5, I'm Simone Eli, and we will see you next week. Deuces.